Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Robin Shimizu and friends all the way from Sacramento, California, helping us run a healthy life so that we can have a wealthy life. How you doing today, Robin?
Doing great, Terralina.
It's so good to have you in the studio today. You always have so much for us. What are we talking about today? Do you have a
Oh,
healthy habit?
we do, and we have a very special guest with us today. Lynnis Woods-Mullins going to be with us, and she's going to
Mm,
talk about gut health. So we're excited about that. We started out our program, I don't know, Terralina, 3, 4 years ago, talking about
mhm.
the connection between the gut and the brain.
Yes.
And Lynnis is going to talk to us today about that magic that happens between the gut and the brain. And I found this really short article about how your gut health can actually affect your happiness.
Mm,
And so I'm sure she's going to help us with that today because she's all about gut health. And so let me just say in the beginning of this is just to remind people that our gut health is so, so, so important. Um, and they say that in functional medicine, they believe every system in the body is connected, right? And your digestive and your hormonal system aren't independent of each other. And so everything kind of depends on each other and they're all linked. And when your gut is unhealthy, it
mhm.
can cause more than just stomach pain, gas, bloating, and diarrhea because 60 to 80% of our immune system is located in our gut. Our gut imbalances have been linked to hormonal imbalances, autoimmune disease, diabetes, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, anxiety, depression, eczema, rosacea, and other chronic health problems.
Oh my goodness.
Your gut.
Well, I believe that. I believe that all systems are interconnected. It's sort of like a house, you need the electricity, you need gas, you need, air conditioning and different things going on in order for the house to function well.
Mhm.
Hot water, cold water, all of these are different systems, but they all complement each other and they all sort of interact. So when we think about our bodies as a house, it's understandable that all these things would be operating under the same roof, if nothing else.
Right, right.
Oh my goodness.
And so this article says their gut is they think that they believe the gut is the gateway to health. And the
Mm-hmm.
first step to take with any of their patients that they deal with is that diagnosis to heal the gut because of all of the different uh, well, they have the list is the same that they that I just mentioned. I mean, they talked about mood swings and irritability, food allergies and sensitivities, depression,
Oh my goodness.
diabetes. So with that, we have Lynnis Woods-Mullins with us, and she is a coach for women over the age of 40.
Hmm.
And she helps women from a holistic perspective. So I'm going to do this off memory, but spiritually, emotionally, physically, nutritionally, all the different ways. So she looks at the woman from a whole perspective and helps us get healthy, not just our gut, but she would help us with other things when as a coach. So with
Linus is in the green room. Shall we bring her up?
yes, yes, let's
Okay.
bring Lynnis on.
Welcome, Linus. How are you?
Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for having me on. Sorry, I was a little bit late in the background. I
Oh,
have a clubhouse room that I do every
mhm.
Thursday, and I couldn't leave in the middle of the person's sentence. So,
Well,
sorry.
that would not be cute. We
How is everybody today?
all
Great.
is well. How are you?
I'm good. Sounds like you've already given my presentation for gut health. You
Oh
need
my
Oh,
some.
stop.
Not that I have
goodness.
a presentation. I don't have a presentation. Just a few things I wanted to share, but you're absolutely right. Gut health is extremely important when it comes to your overall wellness, and definitely when it comes to your emotional wellness.
Mm.
And what I've been doing is designing more programs around helping
Mm.
people to heal themselves holistically when it comes to their emotional wellness. In midlife, we go through so much. And
Mhm.
part of what we go through is the whole thing with hormones, of course. And then we have other things in our environment that change as well. Sometimes our relationships change, children go away to school, divorces happen, spouses die.
Mm.
We also may get stuck in our job and can't climb the corporate ladder any longer for whatever reason. We retire in some cases, may even start new businesses. Sometimes we're taking care of our parents.
Mm.
And I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Sometimes we're taking care of our parents, and that makes a difference as well. Or taking care of our grandchildren. All of these things that are not necessarily what we anticipated when we get 40 or 50 or even 60, but they do take its toll on us. And then you combine all of that with how we've eaten over the years. And if you have been just basically eating the American SAD diet, as I call it, the standard American diet, SAD, then more than likely your gut is unhealthy. If you've been on antibiotics for any extended period of time or have been on antibiotics once a year and you're 40 something, more than likely your gut is unhealthy. If you have eaten a lot of processed foods and don't, a lot of, drive-by foods, more than likely your gut is unhealthy. And all of these things can contribute to an unhealthy gut. But the good news is that we can reverse all of this in terms of how it impacts us emotionally by doing several things. And this is what I talk about in a course that a masterclass I'm going to be doing. And there's so much information about how we can heal ourselves in terms of mental wellness holistically that I've broken it down to 3 different classes because there's just so much information and I want to make sure it's value added. Today in particular, I'm going to talk about what gut health is and why it's important. You mentioned some of the reasons, but just to let you know that they have established, and there's a report in Harvard Review, or not Harvard Review, Harvard Health, that talks about this, that there are psychosociological factors that influence the actual physiology of the gut. So, in other words, depression and stress, anxiety, or our reaction to stress has all been tied to the gut. And why is that? Well, there are neuroreceptors that are in our gut, the same kinds of neuroreceptors that are in our brain. That's why they call it the second brain. And those neuroreceptors count on being nourished by the blood that is created when the food we eat is digested. If the food we eat is not, whole foods basically, are full of chemicals, hormones, other bad stuff, it gets digested and processed into blood cells, red blood cells, which go into the gut, into the brain, all over our body. Well, if these red blood cells are not full of the nutrients that we need to keep our bodies going, that's when things start to break down. And definitely, if those neuroreceptors in your gut aren't being nourished with really good nutrition, then more than likely you have an unhealthy gut. You know you have an unhealthy gut for several ways. The first thing is digestive issues. That's an easy one. Digestive issues. You're not going poo poo regularly, or you're going too often, or your poo poo looks runny, or looks yellow, or there's a plethora of ways it may look. But bottom line is, it ain't right. Okay. The other thing is gas. If you're passing gas all the time, and this happens a lot as we get older, and it's not just because we're getting older, it's because of the accumulation of things that we haven't done correctly when it comes to our nutrition, that now our gut's finally like just not operating the way it should be. And so we're just poo-poo-pooing everywhere. The other thing is sleeplessness. You're having problems sleeping. You are having brain fog. And the reason why brain fog is directly correlated to the gut is that there is a nerve that goes from our stomach to our brain called the vagus nerve. And that nerve's main function is to carry red blood cells up to the brain so that the brain can be nourished and function, hopefully to optimum. Well, as I described earlier, if that vagus nerve is taking blood from the gut that's unhealthy, and full of stuff that isn't going to nourish the brain and help it function to optimum, then you're going to have things like brain fog. You're going to have memory issues. You're probably going to, it's going to also impact how you react to things. Your startle reflex could be off. How many of you find yourself jumping, like when someone walks in the room, you're like, oh, what's that all about? Well, the startle reflex is grounded deep in the neurons in terms of how they're nourished and how they're reacting. Our neuroreceptors is just like the gadgets we have in our engine. I'm not a mechanic because I'm getting ready to explain something I know nothing about. But anyway, you know how they tell you need to get a tune up and they go through the spark plugs and they say, oh, this is dirty. It needs to be cleaned or whatever. Okay.
Yes.
That much I know. Okay. Well, the same thing with the neuroreceptors. The neuroreceptors are being nourished with red blood cells that are full of gunk that's not healthy. Well, they're going to get clogged. They're not going to react. They're not going to encode things the way they should. And one way to tell is if your startle reflex is off. Depression is another thing. Anxiety is definitely rooted in gut health. And also, if you've been under an extreme level of ongoing chronic stress, and you have a bad gut health issue, that is a double whammy because that's when chronic disease can begin to enter in as a possible issue, because the chronic stress runs down the body after a while because your organs are working in optimum to support you. Your cortisol levels are way, way up, and that's causing issues around your weight gain. And your gut, which probably isn't already healthy, is doing the best it can, but it begins to backfire too. So you can see how when we have an unhealthy gut and we also are dealing with issues around stress, it can be a double whammy to our bodies. But the good news is that there's all kinds of things that you can do to have a healthier gut and to minimize the impact of stress and anxiety on your body. In gut in particular, there are some gut healthy foods that, we want to take a look at that are really good for you to eat that can help get the gut into shape. But the other thing is that you really want to get a powerful a probiotic. That's really important. It's really hard to find them in the grocery stores or in the nutrition stores. I mean, there are some there. You have to do your homework to make sure you're getting one with the highest strains. But even then, it's not just getting the highest strains of probiotics in your system. There are also herbs and other kinds of supplements that can really help clean your gut. And I have found for me the best, and I can tell because I have run out of the product and I can hardly wait till my product gets here because I can tell the difference. Absolutely. In my gut and how I'm feeling, but also in my mental wellness and how I'm feeling. My alertness is a little bit down. This morning for the first time, I was feeling a little anxious, and I haven't been feeling anxious in quite some time. And it's interesting because my products went to my daughter's house because I was in Texas for such a long time instead of here. So that's why I didn't get here in time. But it's a powerful testimony because I'm telling you, it made a difference. So getting the right products to clean your gut are especially helpful. And also eating these foods makes it even more helpful. You want to make sure that you are eating foods that are fermented, which is something that we don't do a lot of in the SAD diet. It's just not in our culture to eat fermented foods, but it is in Asian cultures to eat a lot of fermented foods. And things like sauerkraut, which actually I believe is a German delicacy, but sauerkraut is just fermented cabbage. And Asians have their own version of what's like sauerkraut as well. That is huge. Just a little piece to be eating during the course of your meal could make a very big difference. During that fermentation process, the microorganisms that eat the sugar present in the cabbage, and they produce this carbon dioxide and acids. And it's this combination of carbon dioxide and acids that help assist the fermentation when it comes to helping us with our digestion and also helping to feed the good bacteria. Because in our gut, you have the bad bacteria and you have the good bacteria. The good bacteria is the saprotrophic bacteria. That's what we want to nourish. The bad bacteria has all kinds of different names. And I don't want to go through all the names. I can't pronounce all of them, but it's just bad bacteria. Well, eating fermented foods helps to control that balance. Another thing is kimchi. That's the fermented cabbage that the Asians have a tendency to eat, especially in Korea. It's like the spicy Korean cousin to sauerkraut. And, it's got usually a combination of radishes and scallions and the kimchi itself. And it tastes really great. And it can be added with your eggs or with your fried rice, or I like to add it with my sushi when I eat it. Kefir is another fermented food. It's like drinkable yogurt, and it's made with kefir grains, and which falls in the colony of yeast and lactic acid bacteria. And drinking kefir can be very good in terms of helping your gut health. But for those who are lactose intolerant, ain't so good. Kombucha is another kind of fizzy tea that you can get kombucha everywhere now. It's very popular right now. That can be helpful for some people. You just have to try it. During the fermentation of alcohol, gases are produced, and giving the kombucha natural carbonation that's in there. And for some people, it doesn't have the kind of alcohol that will make you high or anything like that. It's a very small percentage. Some people love it and it makes a difference. Other people, it upsets their stomach. So you have to kind of figure out, what will work for you. The other one is miso, which I absolutely love. It's a fermented paste that's made from soybeans, barley, or rice. And I try to get the miso that's made from barley or rice, because with soybeans, you have to be careful sometimes. If you are a menopausal female and your estrogen levels are high, then the miso could cause it to go up higher. Or if your estrogen levels are low, then miso is definitely what you want to drink. But it's just that little soup. I drink it like in a soup, but some people use it to create sauces and dressings. But I love miso soup. You get it. I get it at the Japanese restaurants, and it just tastes so good. And I can automatically feel a difference in my gut when I drink miso soup. Tempeh is kind of like similar to tofu. It's made from soybeans, but unlike tofu, it is a fermented food. So that's something you might want to consider, because it does contain probiotics. Yogurt. I mentioned the kefir, which is like liquid yogurt. Yogurt itself is probably one of the most popular probiotics, and for a good reason, because it does add good bacteria to your gut. What you have to be careful is the kind of yogurt you get. There's a lot of yogurt out there that's got a lot of sugar and syrups and things like that. The best kind of yogurt is probably just the plain old yogurt. Greek yogurt is one of the better ways because of how it's processed. And there's also vegan yogurts out there as well. If you don't like the idea of, or if you're lactose intolerant, or you don't do any meat byproducts. Prebiotics, what I just mentioned were all the probiotics. Prebiotics are those foods like Jerusalem artichokes, leeks, which a lot of times people put in food, in their soups, onions, believe it or not, that's a prebiotic, and raspberries, which I use a lot in my smoothies, is a great prebiotic and a great source of polyphenols, which are really potent antioxidants, which the gut loves in terms of getting rid of the bad bacteria. Beans and legumes are great probiotics to have. And, a lot of people say, prebiotics. A lot of people think, well, I don't like to drink or have beans and legumes because they are carbs. They are carbs, but they're rich in so many nutrients that having just a little bit added to your diet, as long as you don't overdo it, is not a bad thing. And as you know, beans with rice combined, that's a complete protein. So it might be something you might want to consider, because it has a lot of impact in terms of your gut health. The other ones, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Asparagus. Asparagus is a good prebiotic and probiotic. And the best way to prepare your asparagus is to definitely steam them just lightly. They don't have to be overcooked, or maybe doing roasted asparagus is good too. And interesting enough, asparagus is mentioned in prebiotic and probiotic, and that is due to its levels of what's this? I think it's called fructans. which are really excellent when it comes. They're loaded with antioxidants and also very good for staving off free radicals. So doing a good asparagus salad with a little bit of black beans and maybe throwing in there for measure some kind of a yogurt based dressing is a great basically gut healthy food to have. Garlic, which everybody knows is good for everything, but it's the antioxidants that are so strong in garlic that really show up well when it comes to getting rid of bad bacteria in the gut. Bananas, believe it or not, it also is a prebiotic, and it's great for, you know, um, it has a type of it's great for the kind of starch that it has that breaks down indigestible fiber. Okay, and fiber is important for gut health, but sometimes we have problems processing it or digesting it. So bananas are great. Pears is another one that's unusual. I always forget about pears, but they are a good prebiotic food because they contain pectin, which is a compound that helps to lower cholesterol and helps to um, digest our fiber. Watermelon, even though it is high in sugar, it's high in fructan, but it is really good when it comes to um, increasing our absorption of iron and supporting the health of the gut. So those are just some foods. There are more. There's a whole lot of things, but I can tell you the things that are really bad for your gut that you want to let go of in general. But definitely, if you have digestive issues, passing gas, and all this other stuff, you got to get rid of those artificial sweeteners. Red meat, you know, if you're a red meat eater, okay, but just understand the trade off is that your gut's not going to be as healthy as it could be. Processed and redefined foods, I don't have to tell you about all the stuff that's in there that is not just good, not good for your gut, but not good for your overall body. You know, get rid of them as much as possible. Alcohol, you know, drinking alcohol moderately might be a go for, but at this stage of the game, I have just decided to let go of all alcohol. I have to figure out. I just try to create joy from other ways besides drinking. Because it's just not really good for you. There's so many, you know, people talk about, well, maybe a little bit of red wine at night. I could see that, but there's certain kinds of red wine that you want to look for to do that, to make it valuable for you. So the bottom line is that, you know, when it comes to having a healthy gut, you want to eat fresh, whole food, emphasis on the things that I mentioned. When it comes to the kinds of foods that help aid the gut and and also you got to get the right supplements and the right probiotic prebiotic supplement that's really going to take you to the next level in terms of your overall gut health. And I do have a company that I represent called Amari, and that's the product I'm talking about that I'm waiting on bated breath, that really can make a huge difference. And people, and it's not a cheap product, but it is a wise investment, because you either pay for it on the front end or the back end, but guaranteed you're going to pay for it. The bill you get from your surgeon or the bill that your loved ones get from your services. Okay. That's the bottom line. I get so frustrated with people talking about, well, it's so expensive. Well, you know, if you stop going to Starbucks, maybe skip getting your nail done and stop putting all that hair weave or color in your hair, that will give you enough money for this kind of a product. It's not that much money. It's all about your priorities. And if your health is a priority, then you're going to make the investment to do what's necessary to stay well and to stay gut healthy.
I am a fan of Amari. I was introduced to it by one of our biz chicks, and I just love it. It really does have an impact on your health. I'm so glad to hear that. Now, do you have an affiliate link for that?
Oh yeah, I sell Amari.
Okay, so
In fact, if people go to my class, they'll get a $10 off login. Let me give you my Amari
yes,
login real quick so that you can go and take a look at it.
exactly. Just put that in
I'm
the
going to be
chat.
talking about these products.
We will post that so that
Yeah.
people can, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
people are going to be looking at this over a course of time. All those you watching live and on the replay, will be able to see that link, and you can order through Lynnis's affiliate link.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is
You
right
know,
here.
we're
If you
all
have any
about.
questions about it, they can book a free consult and I can talk to them about the different products. Right now, they have a new product that's coming out that I'm really excited about, and I just ordered it, and it's called GBX Fat Burn. They have something called GBX Fit, which is supposed to be really good for losing weight, but this is really good because it burns fat. And people are raving about it, and I just got through ordering it. But if you have any questions about gut health and also about weight loss, in terms of what you eat and how to eat.
Mhm.
No quick diet methods, none of that. But doing it the right way, because I do meal planning with you. I help you with your supplements and your herbs, your movement, also your mindset. If you want to find out more about that, just go ahead and DM me on. Facebook, and I'll be glad to share the information for you. And I wanted, if with your permission, to also give you the link to my class that's starting next week.
Certainly, we'd love to have that.
Okay, great. Let me pull it up for you. I should have had this
While she's
before.
doing that, I am going to show you Lynnis's link tree. So if you miss any of this, you can find her everywhere over here on her
Yes,
link
and you
tree.
can get to the link tree from that too. The name
Okay.
of my course is called Distress Your Mess.
Okay.
And in Distress Your Mess, I cover a plethora, as they say, of
Hmm.
information. It starts on March 1st and 2nd. And the March 1st and 2nd, we'll be talking about essential oils, breathing, and meditation.
Okay.
On March 8th and 9th, we're going to be talking about nutrition, supplements, and herbs. On
Mm.
March 15th and 16th, we're going to be talking about movement, affirmations, and tapping. And the classes are $47 each, or you can get the whole bundle for $97. Okay, that's nothing in comparison to what you're going to be getting. You will get a recording of the session. You'll get the talking points. You'll get the Distress Your Mess affirmation calendar and a $10 off coupon for Amari if you purchase one class at a time. If
Mm.
you purchase all the classes, you get all of that plus a 30-minute session with me for free and a meditation recording. So it's a lot of value.
It is a
Everybody who
great
is
deal of
having gut
value.
issues, stress issues, weight gain issues, anxiety issues, prolonged taking of antibiotic issues, you all should take this class because it will make a difference in terms of your overall health.
Lynnis, we are just always overwhelmed with your generosity.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to encourage everyone to make sure that they use that link when you're considering using Amari, so that you can connect through Lynnis's affiliate link and get all of these extra benefits. Also, these classes are just so key to our health in general. So I encourage you all to um, participate in those classes. Oh, $47 to learn how to stay healthy. Come on, folks.
Yeah, that's
You know,
nothing. That's nothing. And
you
I have one more announcement.
okay?
On May 20th, we're going to have the Soul Sisters Saturday again. It was very
Oh,
successful in October, but we finalized the date. It's May 20th, and tickets are going on sale starting March 1st. And
okay.
it's called the Soul Sister Saturday. And there we're going to have with me Jewel Diamond Taylor, who's a motivational speaker and best-selling author. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of things around ways to stay uplifted, motivated, and inspired and well in your mind, body, and
Hmm.
spirit. There's going to be vendors there. It's going to be outside. In my backyard. I think this time we'll
Hmm.
put it on the tennis court because before we were around the pool, we had about 45 women, but we're expecting about 100 women this time. So we're
Hmm.
going to put it up on the pool, on the tennis court with a nice big tent, and we have some wonderful things planned for you. So would love to see all of you biz chicks there. We absolutely love that.
Well, California Cover Ups would love to be a vendor. Call me
Oh
afterwards.
yeah, okay. I will. I hadn't even made my little list, but
Yes, so put me
I
on the
just
list
got
for
to
that.
talking to Jewel yesterday, so
And
I'm writing you down.
now make sure this is not Mother's Day weekend, right? This is
No,
the
it's
week
not.
after Mother's Day.
It's the
I
week
think it's
after Mother's Day, but it makes a great Mother's Day gift.
it does, doesn't it? There you
Yeah,
go. Mhm.
tickets are going to be, and I have to look. Okay, if you pay before April 14th, the tickets are $65. After that, they're $75.
Okay,
So 65 up until the 14th.
sounds great.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah. You know what?
Both you guys
I
look
am.
wonderful. Both, I meant to tell you, both compliment both of you guys. I love your hair, Terry.
Oh, thank you. You know, I took my hair out. I said, okay, let's let it breathe this
Yeah,
this
I
month.
like that. And you look
Yeah,
so cute, Robin, with your hair. I tell you.
let
You
me
know,
hear.
Lynnis, I was going to say to you that I think that Amari you look beautiful. Everything about you looks glowing and
Oh, thank
radiant.
you.
You
Thank
look
you. I think
wonderful.
it has made a difference. Definitely has. Interestingly enough,
Mhm.
over the last 2 years, I've put on 20 pounds.
Mm,
And, I was always underweight. I
mm,
haven't stopped my exercising or anything. It's just those hormones. But I've decided to embrace it.
mhm,
As long as my stomach doesn't look like I'm expecting, you
mhm,
know, and my butt doesn't keep me from being able to squeeze between cars.
Yeah. Well,
Because my face looks fuller as a result. And so it's a trade-off. But this is what happens as we get older.
mhm.
And I can guarantee you that the celebrities and things that we see that are, over 60, over 70, who are still wearing the size they wore when they were 25,
mhm,
Come
they're
on,
doing something. They
mhm.
are.
something's going on.
They're
Something
doing
extra.
something. Yeah. It's
So,
hard to get, and most of your doctors will tell you this, your MDs and your holistic practitioners, you will pick up a little bit because you get thicker. And the reason why your body does that is to protect your joints, because a
mhm,
lot of times our bones have a tendency to be more brittle. Our,
mhm.
our joints don't move as well, and we need a little cushion, take a
Oh,
fall
how
or whatever.
interesting! I never thought
Yeah,
of it that
that's
way.
what nature does, but we don't want it to get out of hand. We don't
Mhm.
want it to get out of hand. But, it's like, well, it's nature. Well, yeah, there's some things we can do to reverse some of that. But I just want to let people know that, stressing over the 10 pounds, or because they say, basically you gain like 6 or 7 pounds every year or something like that as you get older. Now, I
Mhm.
went a little bit past that.
That can add up.
Maybe some emotional eating. I need to go ahead and incorporate some of my own things that I do.
Mhm.
But basically, though, I think the glow comes from where you've learned to have joy, where you're at.
Absolutely.
Regardless of, I mean, we're all works in progress, right?
Mhm.
We're always working
Yeah.
on something, changing something, doing this, doing that. But, being okay with
Right.
who you are and being, joyful that I did open my eyes this morning, because I've had friends who didn't. And we
Exactly.
get this phone call, and these people are our age, just basically didn't wake up or drop dead, those kinds of things.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
why not go ahead and stay present and enjoy each day, do what we can, and then let go of all the other recriminations, give yourself grace, and live a life with joy. I mean, why
Mhm.
not? At this stage of the game, I think we all need to be doing that.
I think it's a plan. It's a great plan. So, so I don't want to hog the conversation. Robin, do you have something you want to share or
Well, I
ask?
just wanted to let Lynnis know that I did start my Amari journey finally after about a year of contemplating it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not kidding. There was no craving during the day for bad food. It was kind of, I don't know if it was just me being just bit more acknowledging that I'm trying to take better care of
Yeah.
myself. But that craving and the wanting to eat the potato chips and stuff
Oh, uh-huh.
wasn't there. It
Yeah.
was amazing. So I'm really a fan. I'm trying to decide what to do about my mom because it's a little sweet for her. She doesn't really like the flavor. So I'm going to try to figure out another probiotic.
There are some sugarless ones as well. They're no sugar. What flavor do you have?
Great. Well, vanilla on the protein, and then I have the superfood, and I also have the biometrics. Is it
Mhm. Yeah,
the
the
brain?
biometrics is sweet. But there's one that doesn't. I believe there's one that is low on sugar. I'll take a look and I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the other thing that I loved your presentation, Lynn, because I've been feeding my mom a lot of Japanese food because that's what she
Oh,
prefers. So we
uh-huh.
do a lot of miso. We do a lot of kimchi. We do a lot of tsukemono, which is like cocoa, which is kind of like the kimchi, but Japanese style, that
Mhm.
kind of thing. So it really made me feel good that I'm feeding my mom healthily. You know,
Yes,
Mm.
that
yes, you are.
diet is not a bad diet and I feed her only brown rice now, and she loves it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you
So
are,
yeah,
which is great. That's a great starch that also is high in fiber that breaks
Mhm.
down differently than white rice. So I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, but I wanted to thank you for
Mhm.
all of your guidance because it's been really helpful to me. Thank
Okay,
you.
can I get that on a recording, Robin?
Of course.
I have
I'll do the
testimonials.
testimonial for you.
I have a new site that I'm working on right now. It's
Okay.
going to be launching, hopefully, two things. A new site's going to be launching by the beginning of March, and a new membership network.
Okay.
The Vibe Women Network is going to be launching as well. So I'm going to be looking for testimonies to put on to put
Well,
on
I
there.
can give you one.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic.
There you
Well,
go.
I'm glad that because you told me that you like it, but let's work on trying to find the sugarless one for your mom.
Yes, yes. We need to work. It's yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we highly endorse this product, and we recommend that you go to the link for Amari and connect with Lynnis on this matter. It's a great product, Lynnis, and I'm so glad to know that you are a representative
Yeah,
for this
I'm glad to know
company.
you're on there too, because I was going to call
Mhm.
you about it, but too late. But at least you're on it. That's good. That's good.
Yes, exactly. So, but we can have conversations about it.
Yes.
Okay.
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 Mhm.
Fantastic.
Because we're all on the same program. So, with that, I just want to thank you. You always are so gracious with your
Yes.
time.
Thank you.
We definitely will be supporting the Soul Sister Weekend and promoting, helping you promote that. I
Great.
think I've got a couple of vendors I can help send your
Great.
way.
We'd like to get about 9, and we want to get them as
Okay.
soon as possible so we can go ahead and reserve the tent, because the tent itself is like $1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that'd
Then
be
with weddings, it's not cheap. So
yeah.
so we want to thank you, and we want to let everyone know that this is where you go for valued information and confirmation that you're on the right track
Right.
to a healthy gut and a healthy lifestyle.
Yep.
Thank you so much for what you do, Robin, finding these fabulous guests.
No.
Also, we want guys to know if you're on Clubhouse that you need to listen to Lynnis. Lynnis, you have a show on Thursdays, obviously.
Well, actually, I'm not doing any more shows until everything's converted over to houses.
Okay,
But
all
so
right.
stay tuned. I think I will be with you again in March, and I'll be announcing a couple of things. I'll be announcing a brand new podcast is going to be starting, and my new show on Clubhouse is going to be starting. That starts sometime in March.
Sounds great. Okay, so we look forward to that. And with that, Robin, what do we have for next week?
Next week we have Dr. Lawana Parker.
Okay, we're
So
going to be
she's our
talking about
journaling, and
journaling,
she
huh?
really helps us with our mental health and our journaling challenges. So that's
Mhm.
great. We'll be looking forward to seeing Lawana.
Well, we look forward to that. And I just want to thank you for all you do, Robin. We really appreciate you researching these guests and confirming them for BizChicks programming. So we don't want to overlook that. We want to say that publicly because
Thank
we
you.
want you to know that we're sending love your way for all that you do, for the research that you do, and you find such knowledgeable guests. We thank you for that. And again, everyone, if you're looking to be a part of BizChicks, you can go to bizchicks.net, join our community. We'd love to have you be a part so that we can help you run a profitable business that's fun to run by sharing your information with other BizChicks in the community and sending business your way as we support one another on this journey to running a successful business. So again, you can go to bizchicks.net and become a part of our community. With that, we want to remind you it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. And remember that tomorrow we'll be talking tech and English with the Biz Chicks. So come on over. Don't be scared. We're going to break it down in a way that's easy to understand and so that you can apply it to your business. With that, again, I want to say thank you for all you do and for spending time with us. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye, Robin. Bye bye, everyone.